So hello everybody and welcome to the third video in a row in a series actually in which I share with you my collection of actually awesome 19th century scores. Large part of that, I was so lucky in the 90s to just buy those scores for almost no money, and a large chunk as well was donated actually recently by Lorenz Kajo. I've made a video on that symbolic moment in which he also donated that piano, that Frenzel piano, with the one condition from me that I was kind of forced to accept it by him. And of course with the single goal to play that music, but also with the condition that it's still his property. So I'm just taking care of that. But it's really cool to have those editions so close because it feels, you always see different things when you can touch the print, when you have it in your hands, than when you read it from screen. And so, yeah, there is a Petrucci library that we have today available for all of us. It's really cool, with a collection of scores that is the largest collection on this planet. And I didn't have that in the 90s, obviously. So I was so lucky to be able to find, and 2 or 3 times, I think, one time in France and one time in Brussels, to buy a large pile of scores that at the time I was just, I loved and still like old books and old stuff. So I bought that primarily for the interest of having those. But of course you page through those scores, and I think if I rethink on that period now, I think it influenced my way of thinking more than I realize. Just having those scores, seeing the information, it's tangible. It's like a handshake by Czerny, for instance, if you have it scored by Czerny. But now, today, of course, you can say the relevance of having these scores is smaller, but still, like I shared in the first video, the Schule der Geloofigkeit, if you have that and you put it on your piano, it's a different feel, and feeling is important when you play music, of course. So last time we ended with the Van Bülow Instructionsausgabe, and last time is from me 30 seconds ago. I'm batch recording these sessions, obviously, to also be a little bit more effective in my production. But anyway, Van Bülow is cool, is really important. He belongs more in these editions. Well, let me rephrase it what I said in that video, because it's important. It's always key to understand the context in which those people worked and what their philosophy was. They oftentimes translated the way of playing technically and also the use of pedal to the pianos that they were playing. And by the way, those pianos Van Bülow played are similar to ours, but still different in the way that, well, Bülow, I don't exactly know which piano he played. I cannot imagine he played a Steinway from another brand. Not another brand than a German brand at the time. And so the chances are rather high that he had a piano with no repetition action. So a piano from France and Germany. I know Mendelssohn had Erars and Moschles obviously as well. But Bülow, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, just to say to you, well, that's the context you have to know. So they adapted that music of Beethoven in those scores by adding pedal indications, and not so much as we would think today. Today we are actually using a lot more pedaling in our modern Steinway performances, so to say, than in those days. So also there, for that perspective only, it's interesting to look at what they have given actually. What was their practice on fingering? How did they manage to play legato? Did they use finger substitutions or not? All those things, that's the answers are not here, but there is a lot of information that you can just convert in your way of thinking and place it within the context. The interpretation, that's of course hard to say how much that was changed. There was a tendency in that time, you can clearly see that, they were aware this was old music. This was early music, had to be treated differently than new music. So there was a kind of responsibility, also kind of awareness, certainly also with Van Bülow, of the race of the virtuosos, you know. He was part of that evolution as well. So the metronome numbers in this edition are very close to those given by Czerny and Moschles. So there was not a big change on that in that regard. But other than that, it's up to us, to you, to me, to everyone, to treat those editions with care for the context of those days. And that's difficult. And that's fascinating because there's not one answer. There is no Van Bülow anymore to ask. Of course, and you have then these beautiful promotion pages, so to say, in which they displayed their editions. So you go through them and you see, for instance, here Chopin, Mendelssohn, Hummel. And that's cool if you then go to IMSLP. Sometimes, not always, and actually remarkably, not few times, but it's, let's say, 50% chance that you find that it's paging through those promotion pages, I would say, makes clear that if you go to Petrucci, as much as there is available, that it's only percentages of what was published at the day. So we have for years work, people are contributing to Petrucci, it's really awesome. But we will have for years and years and years work to come to a significant percentage of what actually was published in the 19th century. It's amazing. So here we go through a beautiful scores of publications of Beethoven, the Waldstein. It's €2.50 I paid for those. I don't know who made those editions, and they are published, I don't know. So plate numbers are here, but not a name indicating the publishing house. But the text, the print, also you can feel that is beautiful, beautiful preserved. See, Louis van Beethoven, again, we talked about it with the Simrock edition. So if I have Louis van Beethoven at the beginning of my Beethoven videos, it's deliberately because Czerny uses Louis van Beethoven, and here it's interesting to see. You see, you would miss that, I think, digitally, Louis van Beethoven. It's the first time I see that. That's the Waldstein. Actually, even no fingerings. This is kind of urtext in the sense we don't change anything or we don't add anything. Now, about urtext, we're going to make a video. We can reflect on that. Here, a very unknown piece. That's the F minor sonata. People used to call that ABBA sonata. I think we all know that. Here, Opus 58 in the same edition. With the famous run here. If you play that in Czerny's tempo, single beat, you have to play 30 notes a second there. I don't think that's possible. And Czerny indicates in that passage, don't slow down, not for a bit even, forbidden. In tempo, Opus 78. Beautiful. Never played this piece actually. Really played it. Then the Opus 90, and there is something. Well, that's only the first page here. See, was taken out once to sell. That's also only the first page of the Opus 90. And there we have the Opus 160 Hammerklavier. Here you have the famous quarter note 138. There's also a quarter note 138 in an English edition by Moschles, but Moschles actually, by the way, you hear F-16 fighters. They are protecting my collection here. Feel very safe. But anyway, you have this famous, not famous, you have the English edition made by, under the name of Moschles. He actually did not, well, he commented on this quarter note 138. That's what I wanted to say. Obviously, Beethoven gave half note 138. As that was too slow, he also thinks, that's interesting, that the half note 138 was too fast. But anyway, at some point, this edition, and that's actually interesting, should mention that, because this is another one, took that quarter note 138 as a tempo. I think that I'm rather convinced that Moschles was not commenting the quarter note 138 as a single beat number, but as a double beat number. So if you have quarter note 138 and double beat and whole beat, then this first movement obviously becomes too slow. Here you have the, but I'll make some videos on that when we come there. Opus 109, beautiful in whole beat. So sweet actually. So that's this edition. It's actually beautiful, but it serves not so much, except from that one metronome number, that confirms that English one. And we should try to reconstruct the connection with the English editor there. Here we have Winkler. Beethoven is not such an important edition, violin concert. This is also 20th century. Here, Hummel, symphonies, Louis van Beethoven. Again, you see, Louis van Beethoven. Pour piano seul par Hummel. So this is the Opus 60. And it's beautiful how you see the same drawing of this church, whatever neo-Gothic church. It's published here, Mayence in Antwerp and Brussels Schott. Fourth Symphony. I could use that beautiful print, still very, very well to read, to record that when I have time to practice. Here, Seventh Symphony, Hummel, transcription, cool. Poco sostenuto. Well, these scores, it's hard to say. Here again. 1860, 1870, 1850, I don't know. Beautiful. And then to close this video with, this third one, two beautiful scores. Same concerti, which is a pity. This is 1845, can you imagine? Brandus, and this is published in Holland, in La Haye, Correspondance Musicale, which is The Hague, which is musical correspondence. So probably this was published as a kind of extra. Belgique, Convention de 22 août 1852, I think. It's 52. And this is 1845, Brandus. So this is actually an overprint from this score. And this is a fifth concerto arranged by Moscheles for one piano. So he has transcribed all of them, but I have only the fifth one. This is a very bad condition, so metronome numbers. But again, this one is almost the same. I think it's even the same plate numbers. We can check. It's 1157. No, it's different. And here also Brandus. So this is interesting actually. Brandus was the editing house, but he used older plates. MS 4269. This is Maurice Schlesinger. Was also present in Vienna. But anyway, same metronome numbers. And this is a very good text, you can read that. So it might be a project in the future to record these concerti also for solo. But I would prefer to have an orchestra. That's one of my dreams, and that will happen. Because if you work hard enough, dreams come true. That's my motto. I'm sorry. I was hitting the camera. So, guys, that was the third video. Hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you really like it, and then there's a signal for me to continue with that. So these videos on my scores will come every 3, 4, 5 weeks. You will see popping them up in your notification feed. And if you want to be notified by YouTube, no better way than to subscribe, but also hit the bell icon. I'm sorry that I'm repeating this so much, but I keep getting questions from you. Hey Wim, we don't get any notifications anymore for the live streams or the premieres or the videos. What happens with YouTube? YouTube is actually taking over a little bit their platform in a way that they want to decide which videos are more interesting for you to watch. And they, of course, they calculate that with their algorithms based on your behavior as a viewer. But if you want to be notified for the live streams or for videos like these, then hit the bell icon, because that's the only way to be notified. And now with the sounds, I don't know how much of you hear from those air fighters with this microphone. I will say goodbye to you and see you then soon again. Bye.